Let me also appreciate the presence of friends of the Air Force, because I know a number of them here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to be here on this very unique day, marking the 49th anniversary of the establishment of the Nigerian Air Force. And therefore, let me begin by congratulating the Chief of Air Staff and the service that he leads, the Air Force, on this momentous occasion. Let me also use this opportunity to welcome you all to this command performance in honor of the visiting Chief of the Air Staff and his dear wife, and also in honor of the very senior officers and men who are here. I'd like to thank you, the Chief of the Air Staff and very senior officers, for your decision to hold this event here in Bayelsa State. And let me also thank you right away for coming here to host the exercise that you have just rounded up today by this dinner. I'm aware that you carried out a very important humanitarian service in addition to the exercise, and that took you to all the local government areas of this great state. And I was getting daily reports on the activities, on how your men saw people who were ill and who needed attention, and how a number of them got treated. Even those that your people, your teams could not treat, you flew them out. So on behalf of a grateful state, I'd like to thank you and your very able team, firstly for bringing this event to Bayelsa. Let me also thank you on behalf of the state and for all the beneficiaries of your free medical scheme, because even this evening I got a call from relations of some of the people that you airlifted all the way to, I think, Lagos. That's what they called me. So I want to thank you for what you've done. Now, as we all know, the military in every country has three main important responsibilities and duties. The first, of course, is the defense of the territorial integrity of the nation. The second is to act as the ultimate guarantor of the democracy and the entrenched freedoms and liberties of the people. The third is part of what has brought you here, which is acting in aid of civil authorities in moments of disaster, in moments where internal security challenges arise. And just last year, this nation witnessed an unprecedented flood disaster. And here in Bayelsa State, which you all know by now, is the lowest point in this country. Bayelsa is, as we say, as Mr. President always says, and is right, is more delta than delta, and more riverine than rivers. The whole of this state is below sea level. And it wasn't an accident, therefore, that the flood impacted this state far more than it did in other places. I know that several other states were also affected. And so, the Chief and very senior officers, I want to thank you for reminding us of the need to be prepared for challenges such as that, particularly in the light of the 9-month warnings that the floods and the rains this year may even be more than we experienced last last year, but the young man talked about people binding and casting, or binding without casting. In this state, knowing what we experienced last year, we are bound and casted the rain and the flood in Jesus' name. Amen. But all the same, our dear visiting chief and very senior officers, I'd like to thank you all for bringing this exercise here and for achieving two very critical objectives. Preparing to confront disaster, because whether you pray or not, disasters come. And then secondly, for also utilizing this exercise to render a very important humanitarian service. The people of this state are very grateful to you. But I'd like to thank the federal government also for the establishment, and the chief of air staff, for the establishment of the mobility command here in Bayelsa. That command is very close to our hearts. Very, very close to our hearts. With the establishment of the mobility command in this state now has a complete security architecture. And that has enabled me, our visiting chief, to have the benefit of the counsel and advice and the collaboration of your very experienced and well-trained officers and men here. I have the honor of presiding over a security council in this state that has your FOC and another Air Commodore who sits in the Security Council to advise me on various things. And you know, a number of people don't know that now, with the advent of democracy and with what the chief and his colleagues are doing, and with the support that the federal government is giving to the armed services, you have very